Spoiler warning, Blazionaires and Blazionettes. If you have not seen the latest episode to The Flash, why are you here? Go get caught up and then come back and join us, because when these fingers disappear, there's gonna be a flash flood of spoilers. So you better be gone. The fingers are gone, so you be gone. Now, this episode was pretty decent. Pretty decent. It's, like, it basically focuses on Barry, adjusting to being normal again. And this is the first time that his powers have actually been taken away from him. Every other time, his powers have been drained and they've been shut off temporarily. But this is the first time he's been stripped from his powers permanently. So, and what's another thing that's interesting is that, when Caitlin gets to meet her Earth 2 doppelganger, and they have an interesting interaction, and then Killer Frost sweet talks her into breaking her free, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't trust her, and that comes into play later on, and I thought Zoom was just manipulating Caitlin. I mean, he was, but I didn't think he felt anything for her. I thought he was just, putting on the nice guy act and just being a dick. But it turns out that somewhere in that fucked up head of his, he does have some kind of, he does have some feelings towards her, and he even saved her life. He stopped her from being killed by Killer Frost when she was getting ready to betray her. And at that moment, I thought to myself, she's probably gonna knock her out and leave. That's what I thought what she was gonna do. But no, she was gonna kill her in cold blood, and oh man. And right at that moment when she was throwing her her icicles at her, and when it just froze, I'm like, watch, that's gonna be the moment when Zoom comes back and saves her and kills Killer Frost. And that was pretty predictable, but it was still a cool scene. But and we still don't know who the guy in the Iron Mask is. Man, we have like a few more episodes until we find out. And another thing, like back, like in the previous episode when Wally asked Zoom, why would the Flash save me? I mean, like he doesn't even know me. I didn't quite understand what he was referring to. I mean, like that's what superheroes do. They save a lot of people they don't know. But in this one, I liked how they touched base on that, where acts of selflessness is something that he's not used to. He's never really been around that, let alone been a part of that that kind of situation. So it's all new to him. I mean, this world that he's entered, this is new. So it's definitely, different than the world that he left behind. So, and it's basically, like, it kind of reminds me of how Roy Harper was with the Arrow, with Oliver Queen, and like when before he started, becoming another member of of Team Arrow. How he looked up to the Arrow, and he wants to, and he basically looks up to him, and that's Wally's going through that same thing, like where he basically looks up to the Flash, and he wants to thank him in person. He doesn't want to know who he is. I mean, he respects his secret identity, but he wants to be able to meet him in person and tell him how grateful he is, that he basically changed his life, and pretty much. And I thought that's pretty cool. Like Wally is gonna be, Barry's, like pretty much Barry's Roy Harper to his Green Arrow. So that's an awesome dynamic. And what makes it even more convenient. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Now, with the metahuman that is in this episode, like poor Harrison Wells, he's like, once again, man, he's really paying for the sins of of his the Reverse Flash. and with this one, it's different. We don't get that many metahumans who are where their powers are killing them. And so this is different, you know, like where this is a metahuman and his powers are, he's dying pretty much, and every time he uses his powers, and excuse me, and he just wants to be normal again. Every other, like almost every other metahuman, they have their powers and they're like, "Ooh, hunky dory, time to do some bad things and be a bad guy." So, and anyway, this is, you know, different. I like how they, you know, switch it up, you know, like once in a while, and you know, and it's, with that all being said, it's not much of a challenge, and it's a bit more convenient for Barry, you know, since he doesn't have his powers, he doesn't have to worry about getting his ass whooped every once in a while. He had to tire the guy out to the point where he was killing himself, and that's what they did, and let's see here, and it ends with I don't know why I did not think of this before, but it ends with Harrison Wells saying, "I'm going to help you get your speed back, and I'm gonna start up another particle accelerator. Good. You're gonna create more supervillains, and you know, like along the way, and then we're gonna have to see them in season 3. Like, I was made to buy the second particle accelerator." So here's a prediction. Now let's say Wally West is somewhere nearby. That happens. He gets hit with it as well, and then he's going through the same thing Barry went through, and then that's how he gets his speed. He's going to be a speedster. There's going to be 2 speedsters in season 3. That's my prediction. And the only thing convenient is that Wally will have a mentor who is not going to stab him in the back, who is not going to help him get faster for his own agenda. He's going to do it to help him, then help him become, you know, just use his powers for good, pretty much. So, and you know, and that's pretty cool how Barry goes through that. Like, he went through that, where he went through these false, like these, I guess these false idols, you know, who pretend they're trying to help him, and then it turns out that they weren't helping him; they're just helping themselves. But you know, the tables are turned. Like, where I'm gonna do for him what I thought, you know, what those other people were doing for me, you know. But with that all being said, this gets 3.5 chair spins out of 5. 1, 2, 3.5. So yeah, and you know, I want to say, like, I bought this shirt, and you know, like when I was out at the mall with my girlfriend Lindsay, and we were just there, and then I was in the FYE store. It was like everything was, they had every nerdy stuff you can think of in there, and then I looked at this shirt, you know, just hanging there, and I'm like, it's calling to me. It is calling to me. I cannot leave. I do not want to leave the store without it. And then I gave in, and now I have it on. This is my first time wearing it. I'm in love with it. And then it's gonna break my heart when I put it in, when I take it off and put it with the dirty clothes the next day. I'm gonna be like, it's okay. We're gonna get through this. You'll come back home to me. That's how much I love this shirt. But yeah, so do you think Barry's gonna get his powers back in the next episode? I mean, he's got to. I mean, like, Laurel's funeral is like this week, so maybe there's a little time. I mean, there's a little time jump there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's a time jump. So I guess we'll find out as these seasons of both shows are wrapping up. So yeah. So let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed this review, thumb up the video. Make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.